Man, look, I woke up seeing that post and I just shook my head, man. I said, here he go. 50 Cent is the super villain of the internet, dog. He really the Thanos of this rap game, I'm telling you. When that man get quiet, that's when you need to start praying.
Boosie recently reacted after 50 Cent publicly called out T and Tiny, setting off a wave of online conversation. In a post that quickly caught attention, 50 hinted that a documentary project could be on the way, focused on legal controversies that have surrounded the couple, and he even suggested they might want to consider bringing in a crisis PR team, with many fans debating whether 50 is simply speaking his mind or intentionally stirring headlines in the entertainment world. T recently appeared on the Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg show, where he discussed several ongoing topics in the music industry and addressed some of the conversations surrounding him. Around the same time, King of the South, artist Moneybagg Yo, also did interviews discussing the Miss Jackson record, explaining his perspective on how events unfolded and how the situation involving 50 Cent became part of the conversation. Not long after those interviews started circulating online, 50C posted a message that quickly grabbed people's attention before it was reportedly removed. In the post, he suggested that T might face questions about reported legal allegations that have been discussed publicly, and he again mentioned the idea of bringing in a crisis PR team during the ongoing media tour. The brief message sparked even more discussion across social media about the timing and the intent behind the post. In the same online discussion, 50 Cent also mentioned that new music had just been released, which some viewers interpreted as him referencing the current promotional run happening around T.I.'s latest appearances. Because of the timing, several people online speculated that he may have seen the interview clip circulating earlier that day and decided to comment on the situation.
That's when you need to check your windows and doors, cause he in the lab cooking up destruction. He talking about he got a Surviving T.I and Tiny doc? Man, that is diabolical. That's cold-blooded. And mentioning the Diddy situation in the same breath, he basically telling T.I, yeah, I'm the one that started the fire.
During those interviews, T.I reportedly explained that certain reactions from people around him happened on their own, and he clarified that he did not personally direct those responses. He also shared that he later encouraged everyone involved to keep things calm and avoid escalating the public conversation. Meanwhile, fans across social media have continued debating the situation, with some saying 50 Cent appears frustrated, while others argue the back and forth is simply part of how artists interact in today's online entertainment era. Some commentators have suggested that 50 Cent often responds to online disputes with very direct and provocative posts, which tends to keep the conversation active across social platforms. At the same time, the speaker in this discussion made it clear that their opinions are independent. Music explaining that while some viewers claim they always support 50 Cent, they believe he simply has a reputation for speaking his mind without many limits music when responding publicly. However, the situation has also drawn comparisons with T's approach, with some observers noting that he usually handles disagreements in a different way. According to statements shared in interviews, T indicated that he largely considers the situation behind him and prefers to move forward, possibly addressing things through music or public discussion rather than continuing an online back and forth. Some commentators have also questioned the idea of a documentary being made about the situation, suggesting that it could push the public conversation even further. From their perspective, turning an ongoing disagreement into a documentary project might not reflect well and could simply extend the debate between the artists and the public eye. They also pointed out that T has previously faced allegations reported in the media, but legal proceedings connected to those claims were later dismissed. According to public records, supporters argue that he went through the legal process and that those matters have already been handled through the courts. T has also spoken publicly about the situation in the music past, explaining that the legal matters connected to those allegations were addressed through the court system and ultimately dismissed, according to reports. He has maintained in interviews that the claims made in those lawsuits do not reflect his account of events, and that he chose to handle the issue through the proper legal process. Commentators note that when topics like this are brought up again in a documentary or media project, it can place the situation back in the spotlight. Even when issues have already been handled legally, presenting them again in a film or series can lead audiences to revisit the discussion and form their own opinions. Some observers say that when past allegations are highlighted again in media projects, It can shape how audiences interpret a situation, even if those matters were never proven in court. They argue that bringing those topics back into focus during a public disagreement between artists may shift attention away from the music itself and toward personal controversy. In this particular debate, the commentator suggested that responding to online criticism or lyrical exchanges by referencing previously reported accusations could be seen as taking the conflict in a different direction. From their perspective, that approach doesn't necessarily represent a clear win in the back and forth between artists. They also noted that similar controversies have appeared in the hip-hop world before, including other high-profile disputes and documentaries. Music, however, they emphasized that the accuracy of claims presented in those projects often remains a matter of public discussion and interpretation. The commentator also addressed criticism from viewers who questioned their stance on the topic. They explained that when discussing major entertainment stories, their goal is simply to share an honest perspective of music rather than support one side or another. According to them, online audiences often assume creators are biased, but they emphasize that their commentary is based on how they personally interpret the situation.
And I'm coming back with more gasoline. 50 don't play by the rules, man. Most people, they beef, they go to the studio, they make a little diss track. Not 50. 50 go get a camera crew, a director, and a distribution deal with a network just to ruin your whole month. And look, I love Tip.
They also reflected on how conflicts in hip-hop have traditionally played out, noting that disagreements between artists were often expressed through music or public music discussions rather than through outside platforms, revisiting past allegations that had already been handled legally. From their perspective, that shift in approach has sparked debate among fans about how these situations should be managed in today's modern media environment. The commentator added that 50 Cent has increasingly used social media and online commentary as his primary way of engaging in these public music conversations, something many fans have come to expect in recent years. The commentator also shared the view that 50% Cent has not shown much interest in returning to traditional rap battles or competitive exchanges through music, something many fans once expected from major hip-hop rivalries. Instead, they believe his focus in recent years has shifted more towards social media commentary and entertainment projects rather than lyrical back-and-forth releases. They pointed out that when someone who is usually very outspoken online suddenly becomes quieter about a specific situation, it often leads fans to speculate about the strategy behind it. In this music case, the discussion centered on the possibility of a documentary highlighting previously reported allegations involving other artists, which quickly sparked debate across social media. The commentator also reminded viewers that many public figures in entertainment have faced accusations at different times, and in many cases, those claims never result in legal convictions, making the topic especially sensitive when it is revisited publicly. The commentator continued by saying that turning serious allegations into part of a public dispute between artists raises difficult questions about the intention behind it. In their view, if a situation is presented in a documentary during a personal disagreement, some audiences may wonder whether the focus is really about raising awareness or simply continuing a rivalry in the public eye. They emphasized that in the entertainment industry, many performers have faced accusations at different points in their careers, and the outcomes of those situations vary widely. Some claims are addressed through the legal system and resolved, while others remain disputed in the court of public opinion. Because of that complexity, the commentator argued that revisiting these topics during an artist feud can create confusion for audiences, especially when the facts surrounding past cases have already been addressed or remained legally unresolved. The commentator also questioned the timing of giving public platforms to individuals who have made allegations, suggesting that when it happens during an active dispute between artists, it can make the situation harder for audiences to interpret clearly. From their perspective, discussions about serious claims are usually expected to focus on awareness or accountability rather than appearing in the middle of a personal rivalry. They added that the ongoing exchange between the artists seems to be driven more by public image and reputation than by financial motivations, since both figures are already well established in the entertainment industry. According to this viewpoint, the situation appears to be about defending personal brands and responding to criticism, which has kept fans and commentators actively debating the issue across social media. The commentator concluded by saying that strong personalities and pride often play a role in high-profile disagreements between major artists. Because of that, public exchanges can sometimes escalate as both sides defend their reputations and respond to criticism in different ways. They also noted that while there has been discussion online about a possible documentary project, it remains unclear whether anything like that will actually move forward. Public records show that the matters involving T.I. were civil lawsuits that were later dismissed rather than criminal charges, which remains an important detail frequently mentioned in the broader conversation. Boosie Badazz also stepped into the conversation, sharing his reaction to the growing debate music surrounding the situation. During a recent discussion, he suggested that public disputes between major artists can quickly spiral once social media gets involved. According to Boosie, once posts, interviews, and reactions start circulating online, fans begin analyzing every message and timing detail.
The door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in, chime in, and make their opinions about what we do and don't do and should or shouldn't do. But I will say this, whatever we ever have done, it's been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it. We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything. We ain't never trafficked anything.
He explained that moments like this show just how quickly narratives can build in the entertainment world. Boosie Badazz emphasized that people watching from the outside often form strong opinions based on clips and headlines, even when the full context of what each artist meant is still being debated across different platforms. Boosie also pointed out that disagreements between artists have always been part of hip-hop culture, but the way they unfold today looks very different. In the past, most responses came through music releases or direct interviews. Now, a single post or comment online can instantly reach millions of people and trigger widespread reactions. He said that because of that shift, artists sometimes find themselves responding to conversations that grow far beyond the original issue. Fans, bloggers, and commentators all add their perspectives, which can quickly turn a simple disagreement into a major trending topic across the internet. As the discussion continued, Boosie stressed that situations like this often become bigger than the artists themselves once the public gets involved. Every statement, repost, or interview clip becomes part of a larger narrative that fans try to piece together. He explained that when multiple well-known figures are involved, the attention multiplies quickly, especially when different viewpoints begin circulating at the same time. For Boosie, the key point was that the entertainment world moves fast, and once a story gains momentum online, it can keep evolving as more reactions and opinions enter the conversation. As the discussion continued spreading online, several other voices from the hip-hop community also began sharing their thoughts. Some commentators pointed out that moments like this show how quickly conversations between artists can turn into major talking points across media platforms. Interviews, live streams, and social posts all started getting clipped and reposted, which only pushed the topic further into the spotlight. A few industry observers also noted that when well-known figures like 50 Cent, T.I., and Boosie are involved, the reaction from fans tends to grow even faster. Your music, each new comment adds another layer to the story, keeping the debate active across blogs and social media pages. Meanwhile, some radio hosts and online personalities also weighed in as the conversation continued gaining traction. They highlighted how the situation shows the power of modern media cycles, music, where a single interview clip or social media post can immediately spark days of discussion. According to several commentators, artists today operate in an environment where fans expect instant reactions. Because of that, even small remarks can be interpreted in different ways by different audiences. As clips circulate across platforms, viewers begin forming their own theories about what each artist meant and what might happen next. Other figures in entertainment media also noted that debates like this often evolve into larger discussions about reputation and public perception. Analysts pointed out that when artists respond to criticism in different ways, whether through interviews, social media, or future projects, it can shape how audiences interpret the entire situation. Music with Boosie, offering his perspective, and multiple commentators adding their opinions. The conversation quickly expanded beyond just a few posts online. Fans continued comparing reactions, revisiting interview moments, and discussing how artists manage public disputes in today's digital era, where every message can instantly reach a global audience. As the discussion kept building, several hip bloggers and podcast hosts began analyzing the situation from different angles. Some pointed out that moments like this highlight how closely fans follow the relationships between major artists. Every interview, appearance, social media caption, or repost quickly becomes part of the ongoing conversation online. A few commentators also mentioned that when artists with long histories in the industry speak on one another, the music reactions tend to be even stronger. Fans often revisit past collaborations, old interviews, and previous disagreements while trying to understand how the current situation developed. At the same time, some industry observers emphasized that public debates between artists can sometimes grow larger than the original issue itself. Once multiple personalities begin reacting, whether through podcasts, live streams, music, or social media threads, the conversation can move in several directions at once. Bowie's comments added another perspective to the ongoing discussion, and many fans began comparing his viewpoint with what other commentators were saying online. As more clips circulated, audiences started breaking down specific quotes and reactions, which kept the topic trending across entertainment platforms. Entertainment analysts also noted that situations like this reveal how much the music industry has changed in the digital era. Years ago, disagreements between artists might unfold slowly through songs or magazine interviews. Today, the timeline moves much faster, with reactions appearing almost instantly across multiple platforms. Because of that speed, fans often watch the entire conversation develop in real time. Comments from artists, responses from media, personalities, and reactions from other musicians all combine to shape the narrative, turning a single moment into a widely discussed topic throughout the hip-hop community. As the conversation continues, moving across social media and interviews, fans are still debating what this situation really means for everyone involved. With Bowie sharing his thoughts, commentators analyzing the posts, and clips from recent interviews continuing to circulate, the story has clearly caught the attention of the hip-hop community. Some viewers believe the online exchanges are simply part of the entertainment industry's modern media cycle, while others think the discussion has grown bigger than expected. Now the question is, do you think situations like this should stay in the music, or has social media changed how artists handle disagreements? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates and breakdowns on the latest hip-hop stories.